30th October, 7 a.m. We are near Galatz now, and I may not have time to write later. Sunrise this morning was anxiously looked for by us all. Knowing of the increasing difficulty of procuring the hypnotic trance, Van Helsing began his passes earlier than usual. They produced no effect, however, until the regular time, when she yielded with a still greater difficulty, only a minute before the sun rose. The professor lost no time in his questioning. Her answers came with equal quickness.
All is dark. I hear water swirling by, level with my ears, and the creaking of wood on wood. Cattle, low far off. There is another sound, a queer one, like...
She stopped and grew white and whiter still. "Go on, speak, I command you," said Van Helsing in an agonized voice. At the same time there was despair in his eyes, for the risen sun was reddening even Mrs. Harker's pale face. She opened her eyes, and we all started, as she said, sweetly and seemingly with the utmost unconcern,
"Oh, Professor, why ask me to do what you know I can't? I don't remember anything."
Then, seeing the look of amazement on our faces, she said, turning from one to the other, with a troubled look,
"What have I said? What have I done? I know nothing, only that I was lying here half asleep and heard you say, 'Go on, speak, I command you.' It seemed so funny to hear you order me about as if I were a bad child."
"Oh, Madam Mina," he said sadly, "it is proof, if proof be needed, of how I love and honor you, when a word for your good, spoken more earnest than ever, can seem so strange, because it is to order her whom I am proud to obey. The whistles are sounding. We are near Galatz. We are on fire with anxiety and eagerness." Mina Harker's Journal.
30th October. Mr. Morris took me to the hotel where our rooms had been ordered by telegraph, he being the one who could best be spared, since he does not speak any foreign language. The forces were distributed much as they had been at Varna, except that Lord Godalming went to the vice-consul, as his rank might serve as an immediate guarantee of some sort to the official. We being in extreme hurry, Jonathan and the two doctors went to the shipping agent to learn particulars of the arrival of the Serena Catherine. Later. Lord Godalming has returned, the consul is away, and the vice-consul sick, so the routine work has been attended to by a clerk. He was very obliging, and offered to do anything in his power.
Jonathan Harker's Journal. 30th October. At 9 o'clock, Dr. Van Helsing, Dr. Seward, and I called on Messrs. Mackenzie and Steinkopf, the agents of the London firm of Hapgood. They had received a wire from London in answer to Lord Godalming's telegraphed request, asking us to show them any civility in their power. They were more than kind and courteous, and took us at once on board the Serena Catherine, which lay at anchor out in the river harbour. There we saw the captain, Donaldson by name, who told us of his voyage. He said that in all his life he had never had so favourable a run. "Man," he said, "but it made us afeard, for we expected that we should have to pay for it wi' some rare pieces o' ill luck, so as to keep up the average. It's no canny to run frae London to the Black Sea wi' a wind ahint ye, as thought the Dale himself were blowing on your sail for ane purpose. And at the time we could no speer a thing. Gin we were nigh a ship or a port or a headland, the fog fell on us and travelled with us, till when after it had lifted and we looked out, the Dale a thing could we see. We ran by Gibraltar. We had been able to signal, and till we came to the Dardanelles and had to wait to get our permit to pass, we never were within hail o' aught. At first I inclined to slack of sail and beat about till the fog was lifted, but whilst I thought that if the Dale was minded to get us into the Black Sea quick, he was like to do it whether he would or no. If we had a quick voyage, it would be no to our miscredit with the owners, or no hurt to our traffic, and the old man who had served his ain purpose would be decently grateful to us for no hindering him." This mixture of simplicity and cunning, of superstition and commercial reasoning, aroused Van Helsing, who said, "Mine friend, that devil is more clever than he is thought by some, and he know when he meet his match." The skipper was not displeased with the compliment and went on. "When we got past the Bosphorus, the men began to grumble. Some of them, the Romanians, came and asked me to have aboard a big box, which had been put on board by a queer-looking old man just before we had started fra London. I had seen them speer at the fellow and put out their 2 fingers when they saw him to guard against the evil eye. Man, but the superstition of foreigners is perfectly ridiculous. I seen them about their business pretty quick, but as just after the fog closed in on us, I felt a wee bit as they did anything something, though I wouldn't say it was aging the big box. Well, on we went, and as the fog didn't let up for 5 days, I just let the wind carry us, for if the Dale wanted to get somewhere, well, he wouldn't fetch it up a reed, and if he didn't, well, we'd keep a sharp lookout anyhow, sure enough. We had a fair way in deep water at the time, and 2 days ago, when the morning sun came through the fog, we found ourselves just in the river opposite Galatz. The Romanians were wild and wanted me right or wrong to take out the box and fling it in the river. I had to argue with them about it. We had handspike, and when the last of them rose off the deck with his head in his hand, I had convinced them that evil eye or no evil eye, the property and the trust of my owners were better in my hands than in the river Danube. They had, mind ye, taken the box on the deck ready to fling it, and as it was marked Galatz via Varna, I thought I'd let it lie till we discharged in the port and get rid of it altogether. We didn't do much clearing that day, and had to remain the night at anchor. But in the morning, brawn early, an hour before sun-up, a man came aboard with an order written to him from England to receive a box marked for one Count Dracula. Sure enough, the matter was one ready to his hand, and he had his papers to read. I'm glad I was to be rid of the damn thing, for I was beginning maisel to feel uneasy at it. If the Dale did have any luggage aboard the ship, I'm thinking it was neither that the same." "What was the name of the man who took it?" asked Dr. Van Helsing with restrained eagerness. "I'll be telling you quickly," he answered, and stepping down to his cabin produced a receipt signed Emanuel Hildesheim. Burgenstrasse 16 was the address. We found out that this was all the captain knew, so with thanks we came away.